Hello, welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
I'm Lauren.
And this is week 5 of 5 of that summertime strength vibe. So stick around for some toe balances. Lauren showed that in the title slide already. So we'll start with Lauren's foot warm up, progressing to some push-ups for that upper body strength, and bar mobility exercises for those hips and legs and everything else.
Sounds like such a good half hour.
Comprehensive, that's what it is. So Lauren's the foot warm up, and stick around for more stretch and strength benefits to follow.
All right, we'll start with those feet right underneath of us. And let's find our first balance right away. We'll push down into the floor to go up. As you go up, feel those butt cheeks squeeze. Feel the kneecaps pull up. Connect the ribs to the hips to have some light abs there. And then let's just slowly descend. This time, let's come up with one foot. So one knee will bend, ankle in line. We'll go up to our 2 and come down on 1. We'll march 2 more times through this, that nice soft landing on the heel, rolling and peeling through that foot. And then this time we'll go up. And as usual, you will use our toes to point and gently flex and round over. We'll go back through the foot to the demi point, go up and switch sides. I love these toes rollovers exercise. It's one of my favorites, and I hope to do this my whole life. Be able to bend those toes in the opposite direction. They'll help your knees, they'll help your hips, and it's a great party trick. We'll go double up. This time we'll come down on that single leg, we'll bend the knee and sit the hips back lightly, tipping the tailbone to the ceiling. Then we'll press through, extend the hip, double up onto the other side. Knee bends towards over toes, hips lightly sit back. Press through to tall, repeat one last time on each side. We have a little bit of that anterior tip as we sit back, but we still try to keep those core engaged as to not arch that low back too much as we reach the hips back. Last one, we'll go double up. We'll make our way to the floor from here by slowly descending through that squat. So find a nice steady piece of floor and slowly descend. As we get down all the way to the bottom, we'll have a nice soft landing and warm up our wrists for push-ups. We'll extend our hips through first, point our toes out the back, and gently sit down. Now, from here, we'll go back to those hip extensions, and we'll land on the floor through our hands. Our fingers come down first, the calluses, and then finally the full palms. With the full palms on the floor and the elbow pits rotated forward, our shoulders shrug up, and then they pull down as they will stay for our push-ups. Let's do a couple first knuckle push-ups, which means our palms will leave the floor, our fingers will bend, and then we'll land softly. This is very similar to going up onto the balls of your feet. Your knees or your elbows remain straight, and you're pressing down to go up. Let's do this one last time here, pressing, and then lightly flick the floor away. Give that a little shake out. Why don't you flip our wrists around, and we'll do a plank after.
Flipping the wrists around, have the fingertips land towards the knees, fingers, calluses, and full hands. And just adjust those shoulder blades first again. So with your head, neck looking between those hands, give your shoulders a little bit of a shrug up, and then pull them down like Lauren said, a very useful place for them in the push-up. Then if you push your fingers towards your knees, you might drift forward. And if you dug in those heels of the hands, you might lean back towards the finger side of the hand. Repeat that one more time as you push yourself towards forward. Now from this position, it might be easy to bend the elbows, so slight bend in the elbows, and then gently flick or peel those hands away from the floor, adding the little shakeout, and then that hip extension to the top.
Let's warm up a regular plank, and then we'll be adding on today, and you'll see this add on through our push-up progression. First, our hands land on the floor, and we're up into our tall plank position. Hips are up in line with shoulders. Shoulders are pulled out of ears. Butts are squeezed. We're pulling the floor together underneath of us. Now, last couple weeks, we've been doing some frog push-ups, so we'll practice that here. We'll push the floor forward, bend our knees, sending our hips back. We'll hold for a second, and then we'll pull ourselves back through to that plank position. You can do it modified on the floor as Ian is, or you could go back to your frog position with your knees up, and come through that plank, place your knees back down. Choice is yours. Let's go back one more time into that frog and pull one more time into that plank. This time in this plank, squeeze your cheeks. Could you lift one foot without twisting? And then lift the other foot without twisting. Obviously you switched feet. And then both feet down, knees down. Press the floor away. And stay tuned for some exciting push-ups to come. Should we stand up or stay on the floor?
Standing up sounds good.
So we'll tuck our toes and we'll reverse that squat back as we rock back to that low position. Let's stay on the balls of our feet for one more time. Get high, 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 keeping those heels away from the floor. And then last slow descent. Oh, and we'll be back with some push-ups after a bar interval.
Lauren, warm up those nice squat positions in the parallel foot stance. So let's open up those hips to a slightly turned out position, heels touching, and repeat. 3 repetitions of our squat. Hand on the hip or hand out to the side, and low effort, go down. Tailbone pointing to the ground, knees pointing to the side. Then push those hips through, standing nice and tall. Repeat again as we pull down, keeping the heels heavy, particularly that pinky side of the foot, and then push yourself through to tall. This time we'll pull down with flat feet as low as you'll go, and then gently let those heels lift off to help yourself get a little lower. And then when you stand up, connect the heels first, and then finish with the hips. Take a generous step out to the side, sumo stance or second position here, and repeating 3 repetitions of our squat. Feel this pull energy as we sit down, tailbones reaching to the floor as if you're in a narrow alleyway here, and push those hips through, cramping those glutes. Repeating twice more, making sure the knees are confirming well with the feet, so have the knees pointing over the middle of the toes and push through. And repeat one more time. We will try to find those heels as well, so find those heels off the floor, or rather those finding the demi points there, and then heels to the ground and push through. Let's take a pointed leg out to the side and then take it into the front. That's that 4th position, or a little bit of a different version of a squat. Let's pull those knees apart, creating a nice diamond shape between the knees, and then a nice little stretch. Repeat that again. Nice flat feet here as well, and push through. And then for the last one, as low as you'll go with flat feet, then the heels could lift up to help us get a little lower. Heels connect, push through, point the front foot, bring it underneath. Let's stay right where we are, but do the same thing with the other side. So maybe take the leg out to the side, then around to the front, presenting that heel forward, and creating that nice diamond shape between the knees as a squat plie, and a stretch action after. Repeat again, feel the pull, then that push away for power as we stand or extend, and then one more time, pull down, flat feet. The heels may lift to help us get a little bit deeper, and then the heels can touch, push the hips through, bring the feet back together, and as always, the shake. Hips with me, push-ups with Lauren.
All right, we're going to be performing 5 sets of push-ups today, plus or minus 5 reps. I like to keep things even, so stay tuned for more details. Round 1 and round 5 will be a regular set of push-ups, so let's do that right now. First set of push-ups, let's come down via our hinge. So hips chop back. We'll walk ourselves out into a regular push-up, and that may be for you from your knees, that may be from your toes. Wherever it is, let's pull our shoulders out of our ears, squeeze our cheeks, brace our core the whole time. Pull ourselves down and up to back up. Pull ourselves down, push down to go up. 3 more here. Are those cheeks still squeezed? Are the abs still braced? And are the shoulders still pulled out of the ears? Yes should be the answer to all those questions.
Yes, Lauren.
Good. Lift the hips. Walk yourself back via your hinge, vertical shins, hamstrings loaded. Ha-boom. To tall.
Complementing that upper body strength with those lower body mobility drills. Let's go back to your balance aid. Return to the feet in that first position, and this time we'll circle the leg on a straight leg and then a bent leg after. So take that leg to the front, pointing straight. Let's do 1 turn in action, hiding the inseam, but turn it out, showing the inseam forward. Then take the leg to the side. We're turned out, so let's take a temporary moment to turn in on the hip, and then turn it back out. Try to maintain that turnout now as we take it all the way to point, straight out the back, bring it through to have the heels touch, and then all the way through to the front. We'll reverse that semicircle here, so take the front leg there and reach it to the back. Nice straight knees, of course, and then turn out of that hip from the back to the side, and the side to the front, and return the heels together. Pull up to the ankle, and hold a little balance. 3, 2, hands or no hands, and then back down. Now let's return those feet to a parallel position and pull up a knee to face forward this time. Then with the knee facing forward, open to the side and hold for a second. And then turn in on that hip as you reach around to the back, drawing a nice circle again. Connect the knees, and then pull the knee all the way through to the front again. Then extend the hip, meaning reaching that foot to the back. Once you're out of room back there, bring the foot to touch your standing leg and your knee goes wide, and then return the knee to face forward. Return that foot to the ankle, nice coup de pied height, and down here maybe try to find that single leg balance, holding for just a couple seconds with just a light touch on the bar as you need, and then back to 2 feet and back to a full standing position. We'll be switching sides, inviting you to switch around your balance aid as well. And let's do that first turnout circle from that turned out position underneath, and we'll return to the parallel position after. So a straight leg to the front, emphasizing the turnout, but exploring the turn in to really understand what we mean by turning out. Utilize that turnout and bring it to the side, turn it in again, and then turn it out once more. Keep the hip reaching forward as that leg reaches to the back, and then bring the heel forward, finishing with a pointing action of the foot out front. Then the hips go forward as that leg goes to the rear, straight knees, of course, and then from the back to the side, from the side to the front, and bring it back underneath, and then that first quick balance at the ankle. Knee points to the side, toes point down with or without the balance aid. Return it to the floor. Parallel those feet so they're both facing forward, and then pull up towards that knee or the passe position, and then open the knee to the side. Keeping the hip forward, we'll turn in on that hip a little bit, drawing that circle shape to the back. Connect those knees, be careful of the hamstring cramp, and then pull the knee forward into hip flexion. Flexion is forward, extension is back, so take that leg to the back then, and then circle around that hip as you point the knee to the side, the knee to the front. Return the ankle down just a little bit to that standing leg, and then find that balance. And hold, and breathe. And I think I do a little bit better when I focus on looking straight ahead. So build those strategies for strength and balance, and until again, it's push-up time.
All right, so just as we did in the warm-up, we'll do a frog push-up. We'll send our hips back, and we'll push through into our push-up. Let's get there this time via our forward fold. So with our arms back, our shoulder blades together, we'll tuck our chin, and we'll slowly start rounding ourselves forward. It starts with that C-spine. Then we work in through that bra or that rib cage area. Our belly button pulls in as we roll forward. And once we're down in this forward fold, think, am I as flexed or as rounded through every vertebrae as I could be? Let's shift our weight forward in our feet and just dangle for 1 second. And then we'll walk ourselves out. Let's get to first our high push-up position. In that position, we'll have the shoulders pulling out of our ears. Then we'll push the floor forward, sending our hips back into that frog-like position. We'll pull forward to high plank again. Continue through that to a push-up. Push the floor away, hips go back. Hips pull forward, push up down, push up up. Hips go back. Pull through. Each time in that high plank position, think of your plank. So brace your abs, squeeze your cheeks, put some tension through all your muscles here. What number are we at? I'm too chatty.
5.
Last one here. Push up and up. Then for extra bonus fun, keep your hands plastered to the floor and walk your feet to your hands. Then chuck your chin and curl yourself back up, stacking, stacking, stacking until you're all the way to
Tally tall.
tally tall.
Here we are. Tally tall. And feeling worked out in that upper body and nice and loose on those hips. Let's keep those exercises going. Let's return to that first position or a slight turned out V stance. And then this time, that same circle action of the leg, but in that squat position. So pull ourselves down into our squat. Transfer weight to one leg, that's that inside leg first, and then point the leg to the front. Now keep the leg forward, rather the hip forward, as that leg goes to the side and then further on to the back. Let's stand up tall as that leg comes through and goes all the way to the front again. Then return to that tall stance in first. Then repeat. The knees bend, choose a foot to balance on, it's that inside leg, and then a single leg reaches to the back. Then turn out of that hip as it goes from the back to the side and the side to the front, and stand up again together, pulling the heels. Now find that low ankle balance. We've been there before. And now on a flat foot for now, find that knee or the passe position. As the femur bone of the leg is lifting up, the toes are pointing down, and that hip again is reaching towards the floor. Return that leg to the ground, add that shake and a wiggle, and a quick switch. Working on the stability, that's that standing leg and that funky walk after those mobility hips as well. So from that V stance, it's a squat, and then a leg to the front. And now keep that hip forward as the leg is moving from the front to the side and the side onto the back. We'll stretch, we'll bring the leg through and just point it all the way to the front. Return the heels together. When they touch, add that squat again, and then reach that standing leg to the back. And then open up, keeping the hip forward as you can, to the side, to the front. We'll stand up with those heels then pulling together. Find the ankle. You could stay there or challenge yourself with that knee balance. Toes down, knee side, and again, as that leg bone is lifting up, the hip that it's attached to is reaching towards the floor. With control, find 2 feet, shake, wiggle, and push up progression number 3.
All right, as Ian said, this is set 3 here, and we're going to add on to that frog if you'd like. This time, we're going to do a one-legged frog. Let's follow along. Hip hinge to walk yourself out into your high plank position. Just as we did the last time, we'll set ourselves up. High plank, we'll push the floor forward, send back to that frog. Now, as we pull through, optional, lift a single leg off the floor, keep your hips square, do a push-up. Foot goes back down, hips go back. Pull yourself through, lift the other leg, do a push-up. Let's do that. This is why I said 5-ish reps, because we want to be even here. So let's go anywhere from 4 to 6 reps with this version of our push-ups. I have 2 more here as I'm doing my push-ups. I'm making sure that those hips stay square. I'm reaching the leg long, keeping tension through my glutes and my legs. And then I'll walk myself back via my frog and unhinge myself. All the way back up. That was a little bit of a harder set.
That was. Working on those bases of support, those wrists, those feet, and then those 3 bases of support, taking away a leg. And it all is for the core strength. So too are these leg holds coming up right now.
Oh, yes.
So work from a parallel or that turned out position for you. And first, just pull up that standing leg to the ankle. Then once it's at the ankle, just point it out front off the floor. Shoot energy out of your toes so they're pointed, nice straight kneecaps, and compress that femur in the hip. Then return the knee to the side and the foot to the ankle. Stay low if that's crampy enough and hard enough for you, or bring it up towards that ankle, at the knee rather, and then do the same thing, holding for our 4, 3. Breathe underneath of that tension, and then return the knee to the side. Let's repeat that one more time. Not necessarily higher, but use your imagination. Climb up, and as that leg is reaching long out front and high, the hip again is reaching towards the floor. Return the knee to the side, return the foot underneath the hip, finish with control, embrace a little bit of that silly shake, and we'll return to the other side. How are you feeling, Lauren?
Great.
Excellent.
I really try to keep both legs straight, especially my standing leg.
Oh, me too.
And I try not to sit back too much as my leg goes out front.
It's easier that way.
You're right, but it's not as good.
Let's do those challenging things and keep it nice and strict for that technique. Pull up to the ankle and hold a quick balance, and then straighten out. Lauren's cue here is often be on the toes. This Lauren and the other Lauren, our ballet instructor. Then knee to the side. Pull up to that knee again and breathe. And the standing leg, is it straight? And if it isn't, straighten it with your bum cheek. Quads help too, of course, but use those glutes. Then the final balance for this set is again holding out front and breathing, and then knee to the side, and then return down. For this set is kind of a lie because we're going to switch sides one more time now and do the same effort out to the side or that second position. So pull up to the ankle and hold for a second, and then straighten out the leg out to the side. For 3, 2, return a bent knee. Stay low, climb as allowed, and same thing. I'm straightening that bottom leg, Lauren. How about you? Keep the breathing going, and then return. And from that same height, or just that millimeter, 1/16 of an inch higher, keep breathing, embrace that shake, return, and then return to the ground. And we'll switch it out nice and quick because those push-up muscles, don't want to give them too much rest here. But same thing, 3 repetitions with a leg hold out to the side. Pull up to the ankle and point and hold. Are you on the balls of that foot, of that standing leg, and return under? Then find the knee and extend the knee pointing out to the side and cramp that cheeks of the standing leg. And then repeat one more time. Imagine higher, but the hip is low as the femur is high. Return underneath with control. Shake. 4th set of push-ups.
I don't know if your Mississippis get longer or mine just get shorter, but woo. All right, so we're coming back down that push-up and we're going back to that regular frog. Remember, you can always just end in that plank position and push back to frog. Plank, push back to frog. Add in one push-up, add in a modified push-up. Just watch. The options are endless. Walk yourself out. Regular high plank or push-up position. Hips go back, hips come through, lower to push up, up. We're going upwards of that 5 number again. We have butt cheeks that help us. We have quads that have tension and muscles and abs, and our fingers are gripping the floor. Our shoulders are pulled down so our lats are engaged. I believe that was the last one. Mm-hmm. And then we'll walk ourselves back up to the hinge again, and boom, up to 12.
Awesome.
One more set remaining today.
Awesome. We have 2 more sets then on the bar. Excuse me, 1 more set on the bar and then 1 more set in the center. So with the bar, let's put together some of those leg lifts with those squatting plie shapes.
Sounds like a really
in
amount
our
of fun.
fondue exercise. It
Fondue.
is fondue.
It's fondues.
Fondues and the fondues. So when the knees bend, let's find that ankle position. Knees bend together and then straighten together. They blend or bend together and then extend, lengthening together as well. Find the back of the ankle and repeat that cross pattern with the extension out the back. And then 1 more time to the side. At the side, let's try to find that releve or ball of foot, and then knees down together, and then find the ball of the foot as we stretch. Knees bend together, and then they stretch. Just very light tension on that bar here as we reach out the back 1 more time, and then 1 last time out to the side. As the ultimate balance challenge today, could we find that demi point in that passe position and take your hand off the bar? Lauren's cue to lean forward just a little bit. Keep the breathing and finish with that integrity and control. Nice patience. And shake it out.
Hot hips. Hot hips.
Fun
Hot
fondues.
hips. That's what I have.
They are. But pleasant fire, pleasant warming, burning sensations. But that's up to your discretion and interpretation as well. Let's get going here as we bend those knees together and straighten out front. Bend the blend, and then straighten and lengthen. To the back of the ankle, and then reach back, hip forward, and then here we are, the last one to the side for that series, until we find our releve, and back to the ankle, stretch on a point. Back to the ankle, stretch on those toes. The back of the ankle for the very last time as you reach out to the rear, and then 1 more time to the side. Hold it there. Lift the knee higher as you return to that passe position. Maintain that turnout idea. It's those ribs over the hips. The breathe. The smile as you can. Hold the balance aid. Back to 2 points and down. Shakes. Wiggles. 5th set of push-ups. What's the finale there, Captain?
The finale is choose your number. So it's the final bar class of our summer semester. Don't worry. Next week, we start back with our semestered approach, and it's week 1, and we're getting back to our kettlebell presses and our plies. So let's do 1 final set of push-ups together. My number is going to be 15. Is that crazy?
Okay.
Let's give it a try.
I'm going to go
15 regular I'm going to go 17.
I'm going to go 18.
Okay, 15-ish
15
plus or
it
minus.
is.
Regular push-ups, it's not a competition.
Never.
Forward fold.
Okay.
Roll yourself down. Walk yourself out to whatever position it might be. It might be holding the plank for the duration of our push-ups. It might be doing a couple modified push-ups. I'd rather see you do, even though I can't see you, less push-ups that are better than more push-ups that are yucky. I'm probably not going to talk. Here we go. Pulling down, pressing up. Keeping your breath to help you. Using that help just like we do in our presses. This is 6.
7.
Up. keeping our chin tucked so that we don't get that chicken neck as we finish out these last couple.
14, 15, 16, 17.
Oh, goodness.
18, 19,
Peer pressure.
20.
Okay, that's enough for me.
Awesome. Those high numbers of reps don't happen too often here. We do like to practice sets of 3s, 4s, and 5s for multiples that add up to 20 or 25 over a whole exercise session. Very rarely 25 in a row, but it's nice to challenge every once in a while too. I know some balances, but so does Lauren. You want to show a balance, Lauren, to finish?
Sure.
Okay.
I believe the photo of me is relatively in the same outfit doing a lunge.
Do it.
So we might as well do that.
Bring it to life.
How's me bringing the photo to life? One leg's going to step back into your lunge position. Right now your front shin is vertical. Your shoulders are square to the front of the room. Your ribs are connected to your hips. Now, let's gently pull the floor together as we descend. That just means create some tension again. Pull that front leg in so we can maintain that vertical knee. Now, we'll pull the floor forward. We'll push the floor forward and back. Let's get to our hover knee. Then a little bit higher. And then all the way back to the top. Remember the top, that front knee is still bent, vertical shin. Now let's peel the front heel up off the floor as allowed. Same thing, slowly descend. Back knee is bending, front leg is pulling in, soft landing. We're gonna go back up, trying to keep the heel up off the floor. All the way up, heel down, last one I promise. Pull yourself down, this time up together. Shake it out. Now let's remember what we did and repeat it on the other side. Other leg is going to step back, vertical shin, square, abs. Pull yourself down and again, slowly descending, soft landing. Then we came up, hover position, halfway position, fully extended back leg. We peeled the front heel up off the floor, trying to keep the ankle in line with the knee as we descend, slow, soft landing down. Keep the heel up if it's allowed. Push the floor forward and back, up to tall. Heel down. One last slow descend, all the way to the floor. And then last time, up together and shake it out.
Some pretty conventional exercises here, being push-ups and planks and squats and lunges, but just done a little bit unconventionally to add some tension, some stress, and some balance to your strength and wellness training routine. As we said earlier in the warm-up, this is our 5th of 5 summertime workouts, perfect for any season. So as we transition into fall, don't be afraid to revisit some of these archive sessions in the Summertime Strength series that includes playing with your strength, bodyweight handstands, kettlebells, specializing in the press, the swing, and the get up, and this practice, push-ups, presses, and plies.
Next week, it all starts back with a fresh semester, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, like and subscribe on YouTube. Tell your friends. If you live nearby, our new in-studio sessions also begin, so check out our website. As well, if you're bored, put a little bars and bells on in your background and follow along anytime you can.
Anytime.
Until next time, take care.
Stay strong.
And let's train soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.